settings, please let me know because I don't know which setting to do for my ring light and it's stressing me out, okay? What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Tierney. If you're new here, hello and welcome to my first ever, well, not my first ever. I've definitely done reading wrap-ups before, but this is like my first. I'm gonna start doing monthly reading wrap-ups. So this is my technically March reading wrap-up, but I'm gonna also say what I read in January and February because I only read like 2 books in those 2 months. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of go over what I read. I read 5 books, and then I'm also going to say my April TBR and what I want to read this April. Sorry I haven't been around. I've been very busy with school, and I'm finally almost done. I have just this month left, but since March was such a better reading month for me, I think I'm gonna be able to read a lot more. Hopefully it'll be less stressful in the next month because I literally only have a month left until I have my big break, and then I don't go back until January of next year. So we will be making a lot more videos, trust me. I already have a lot more planned, so like I'm trying to think of what I want to do and everything. So anyway, if you can see, I have a new setup. I got a new bookshelf, so now I have 3 and they're all like 1, 2, 3. I will be making a video reorganizing it because it's not organized at all yet, but I really wanted to make this video because I want to start making TBR videos and trying to like stick through them to then try and get through my physical TBR because it's really big right now and I need to get through them because otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I only have 4 books currently that I like picked out that I know I want to read in April, and then the other ones I think I'm gonna go with 6. So the last 2 I'm just kind of look around and like pick as we go. Like I don't know exactly what I'm going to want to read. So I've been kind of like mood-ish reading, but also was in like a romance mood because I had just finished a lot of fantasy. So anyway, let's get on to what I read this month and the past 2 months, 3 months. Let's get on to what I read. Okay, so I finished the Throne of Glass series. I read Tower of Dawn and Empire Storm. That took me 2 months to like finish them because I was tandem reading it, which I definitely recommend doing. It is the best way I think to read them. Though I really liked both of them. I'm pretty sure I gave both of them 5 stars. I know some people don't really like Tower of Dawn because it's a little slower, but I think if you read them together, it doesn't feel that slow because you're already getting so many points of views in this book that adding on 2 more isn't an issue. So reading them together was highly recommend that. So that's what I read in January and February, those 2 books. And then I finished Kingdom of Ash in March, and this book ripped my heart out. I am so sad that this series is over. Like, you have no idea. This was like such a great ending to a series, but I'm so sad that I haven't seen them. I don't see them anymore. These characters, Rowan and Aelin and everyone, Kale, Dorian, everyone. And this book will literally rip your heart out and put it back together again. Like, it is just so good. This whole series was just incredible, and I can't highly recommend this enough. As like whenever I see somebody looking at this table at work, I will talk to them about it because I'm just so obsessed with this series and with ACOTAR, and I just love everything about this. Obviously, like, this was 5 stars. It would be an infinity stars. Like, I loved this so much, and she's thick, but it was so good. I couldn't recommend this enough. I'm so sad that this world is over. I honestly, as soon as I finished, I kind of wanted to go back and just reread it again. But I can't do that to myself right now. Oh, man. But if you take anything from this video, just read Throne of Glass. If you're contemplating it, if you are intimidated by it, don't be. Just read it. It is so good. Like, the whole time I wanted to talk to my fiance about it because I needed to talk to somebody about it, and I couldn't talk to anyone about it. And I have no words. Like, I am like speechless of how good this was. I have no words. Alright, we're gonna move on to the rest of the books I read in March, because then after that I needed to not read fantasy because obviously nothing would compare right away after that because this was just incredible. So I moved back into romance, which I haven't read in a while, I feel like, because this series has taken up like 5 months trying to read it and finish it with school going on and everything. So next I picked up, I don't know why, it just kind of intrigued me, and it was new, and it's actually published by Wattpad Books. I needed a really short and easy and light read, and this was it, and that is The Night Shift by Annie Crown. What did I give it? On Goodreads I gave it 4 stars, but I think I was gonna give it like 3.75 stars because it's not quite a 4-star read, but it was everything I needed right after reading Throne of Glass, and it was just a really cute sports college romance, and I enjoyed it. There was not much plot, but it was like one of those just light, fluffy reads that you need right after a really big fantasy series. So I enjoyed it, and it made me giddy, and yeah. She works at the library on campus, and he's the star basketball player, so it's like that typical shy book girl, popular sports guy romance, and they just meet in the library because he has to write a paper or poetry and doesn't know where to start, and she actually loves poetry and was able to help him, and that's how it like sparks their whole relationship. Yeah, if you need just something really oh my gosh, light and fluffy after something really heavy, definitely pick this up because that's exactly what it was, and it was exactly what I needed. I read a lot of sports romances, I realized, because then I read Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer, and this was great. They used to know each other in high school, and then he gets put in the NHL, or he doesn't get put in, he makes it into the NHL, and she then becomes his, like, personal assistant, and they both think at first that the other person doesn't remember them, but they both remember each other, and it was just really, really cute, and I loved this book. I gave it, what did I give it? I gave it 4.75 stars, so almost 5 stars, and he is Jamie and she is Pippa. They knew each other in high school, and she is an aspiring musician as well, and just the whole dynamic between the two of them kind of like rekindling what their friendship that they had, and then realizing that they've liked each other. It was a good, I feel like I can't explain or like review books without giving away things, so that's why my reviews are literally always terrible. So I'm very sorry if they're that bad. It was just really cute, and it was a good hockey romance. Like, it was actually, like, there wasn't too much hockey, but there was also, like, it was actually in the storyline. So, like, you actually got to see some of it, which is cool, too. But, yeah, I don't really know what else to say, because I'm really bad at this. So, okay. Next, I picked this up because of the tagline, okay? And I was like, you know what? It intrigued me that much that I just want to know what happens and what's going on. So I read Fish Out of Water by Katie Rugel? And the tagline is, why date a mountain man? Because he knows how to pitch a tent. I said that out loud, and me and my friend Deja at work just started dying laughing because of that tagline. That's literally the only reason I bought it, and why then I started reading it. This follows Delilah and, oh my gosh, what's his name? Winston. Delilah and Winston. Winston is the hermit of, like, the town and, like, never goes out and is, like, by himself. And then she is from LA and is trying to find her sister who disappeared in this Colorado town. So her sister goes missing, and that's why she's found herself in this small town, and she recruits Winston because Winston's the last person that actually, like, talked to her before she disappeared and, like, sent her emergency SOS text message. So then they have to go literally hiking and camping through the woods to follow the trail that she took and try and find her sister. And along the way, they clearly fall in love because it's a romance book. But it also had that, like, not thriller, but, like, mystery aspect, which was pretty cool, which is different. And you were kind of wondering, like, sometimes you'd be reading and you'd forget that they were actually trying to search for her sister, but then you'd remember and you'd be like, oh, I really actually wonder what happened. So that was pretty interesting. But otherwise, some of it was just a little cringy. I had, like, secondhand embarrassment and cringe from the main girl in this story. So I gave it 3.75 stars, not a 4-star, just because of that cringe. I was getting, like, secondhand embarrassment sometimes at whatever she was saying to him, and it was just, like, so awkward. And then the whole, like, twist of where her sister was, like, it just kind of came out of left field. Like, I was not expecting it at all. And I was like, oh, okay. Otherwise, I mean, it was a quick, easy read, so if you are interested in this, you could definitely pick it up. But I don't think this is a book I would reread, so yeah. But it was entertaining, so it did its job. Then the last book I read, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. Tessa Bailey can do no wrong, in my eyes. Love all of her books I've ever read by her. And I read Fangirl Down, which is a golf romance, and he is a professional golfer on the PGA Tour, and she was a fangirl, like, literally was like, would go follow him. Like, she was like always supporting him even when he started going like in a downfall, and he clearly like always noticed her, like always recognized her, knew she was there, whatever. And then she had like won a contest to have dinner with him, I think, and like talk golf, whatever. But then he was just like an asshole and was like no, like, and stomped off, whatever. But then he couldn't stop like thinking of her. So when a hurricane hits, like, he literally is like, oh my god, is she okay? And then goes to her, and then that spirals into her becoming his caddy for like a couple of the tournaments on the PGA Tour. And throughout, they just, you know, get their relationship going. And I also liked it because it represents the main girl has diabetes, which apparently Tessa Bailey's daughter has type 1 diabetes. So it was really cool to like put that in there and show that like the type 1 diabetes is not like just because she has it doesn't mean she can't do everything else that other people can do. And I was so giddy and blushing, and I loved everything about this book, probably because I grew up playing golf and like doing like so I just knew everything about golf, and I knew like all those kind of terms and stuff they were doing, and I like love golf and I like playing golf, so I like related to it. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved this book, and I was so giddy and kicking my feet the whole time. Like, I read this in 2 days, like obsessed with it. I couldn't put it down. Like, I just wanted to read it every waking second I could. Fangirl down. And I can't wait for the next one in this series, which is the Au Pair Affair. It comes out in the summer, I think. Just this summer 2024. Not sure. But you meet the 2 characters in that book, in this book. So that is everything I read since January, technically. Which is 7 books? Yeah, 7 books. Which is not a lot, but with school, it was kind of hectic. But I can read books pretty fast. So I'm gonna give like maybe a 6-book TBR for April. See if I can get through those. And then kind of go from there and see if I can do more. Once school's over, I can definitely like spend more time reading and doing like other types of reading type of videos, so definitely want to do that. Okay, so I have 4 here that I'm definitely gonna pick, and I just don't know what other ones I want to do, so we'll pick those 2 together. I'm not really sure what to do. So first up on my list, because I read Behind the Net, I went right out and got the next one, which is The Fake Out, and you meet the 2 characters that this book's about in that book. This is her sister, and this is another person that they went to high school with that also made it in the NHL, but he became like the bad boy of the NHL and was on a different team, but he gets traded to their team. So I'm a hockey romance girly. I literally have like a whole right here shelf right now of hockey romances. Like, these were also there. So I definitely want to read this next, because then that would complete this series. So I'm really excited. I don't know if there's going to be anything more, or if this is just going to be it. I'm pretty sure this is only the 2 so far. I don't think there's going to be another one, but this is one that I want to read. I want to get back into Katie Robert, and I've only read Neon Gods by her, and I read Court of the Vampire Queen, but I have every other book in this series by her. So I want to read this one next, Electric Idol, and continue on with the like Dark Olympus series and try and get through all of them, because her last book, is it the last book or just the next book? I don't know. The next book comes out in August, and I want to try and catch up and read as many as I can by her before then. So I have Electric Idol, and I hope to, I don't know why, maybe it's because I really loved Hades and Persephone, and I loved those 2 together, that I didn't want to read about any of the other gods or goddesses. So maybe that's why I haven't picked these back up, but we're gonna start. We're gonna read these. I read that like 2 years ago. I still think about it. Like, loved that book. So we're gonna keep going and read at least this one by her this month. So next, one of my most anticipated book releases that came out last year was this book, and I didn't read it right away because it also got like mixed reviews, and I wanted it to kind of die down before I started reading it again. But then she just announced the 3rd book is coming out in January of next year. So I'm like, now it's getting buzzed about again, and I'm kind of really excited. And I've read a lot of romances in between my other fantasy books. So I want to read, finally, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I was obsessed with the first book. I have 3 copies of the first book, and I have 2 of this one, and I haven't even read it yet. But I want to get back into it because I miss Xaden and Violet a lot, like, and I miss all of the other characters. Like, I miss all of that whole world right now. So I think this might be my next book I read. I'm definitely want to read this one next, like, so badly. So I'm definitely on my TBR. So, and I can't wait. I know this, I feel like this is more, I feel like people didn't like it because there wasn't as much action, I've heard, or like it's more world building-esque than Fourth Wing, where it was kind of like world building, but it was more like what's going on in the present and what's happening. So I feel like that might be why people are struggling with it, but I don't mind it. After reading Throne of Glass, which is a lot of world building in all the different books, I don't mind it because it's like it gives you that backstory you need to enjoy the whole series. So that's why I'm excited to read it, and I cannot wait. I am so excited to dive back into this world, especially because that book left off on a cliffhanger that I still think about to this day, and I read that almost a year ago, and now I just need to know what happens. So we're gonna read this next. I also want to finish the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I literally have just the last one left, which is Hopeless, which is Bo and Bailey's story. This I'm gonna finish. Like, I need to finish this book so badly. I've been in a cowboy romance, like I've been wanting to read more cowboys. Like, I want to go back into it, so this is why this is on my TBR. And it'll help finish the series and get it off my physical TBR because I will have read it. I still have 2 of these copies, and I don't know what to do with them. Please comment down below what I should do with the other copy because I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So, I'm so excited. I actually just ordered another book by Elsie Silver. Also, her other book comes out in like 2 weeks. So that's another reason why I want to finish the series, because her new book is coming out. But I also just ordered this other, I think it's the Off to the Races, I think it's called, by Elsie Silver, and it's another, I think it comes before this series technically, but those all have special editions, and I bought the special edition of the first one off of Amazon because we don't get that one at Barnes & Noble, so, and I want to get them before, like, if she ever publishes those like she did with these, I want those covers because they're beautiful. So definitely these 4 I feel like are a definite. I will read these 4 in April. Now, last 2. I don't know. I want to read an Allie Hazelwood book because I have so many of them still that I have to read. I think I've literally only read The Love Hypothesis, but I like love all her books. Like, loved that book so much that I have kept buying all of them. So I have, what is that book? I didn't even know I have some of these books. I don't know. Anyway, I have Love on the Brain, Love Theoretically, Check and Mate, and The Bride. Like, I really want to read Love Theoretically, but in my brain, I have to read Love on the Brain first. That's funny. And then Love Theoretically, because they're all in the STEM romance is. So I feel like I can't read that one yet, and I don't know. I might read The Bride. I think I want to read that one. The Bride. I actually haven't read like a werewolf shifter vampire romance in a while. So, you know what? And this is a standalone. This could be probably a quick and easy read. It's only like what? I wasn't even looking at the page number. 390 pages, 400-page book. I can read this quickly. So I think I'm going to add The Bride by Allie Hazelwood onto here. Yeah, this is on my TBR. Okay. Now, what's next? I want to do one more book, but I don't know. Do I want another hockey romance? I don't know if I'm going to want another hockey romance. Or, like, start a series? Or do I read one of my other pretty ones that I just got? Or do I read that one? Or do I get Sabby to read that book with me? Or there's 2 books coming out today, because today's April 2nd when I'm filming this. There's like 2 or 3 romance books that I want to buy also because they just came out today, which is a Sarah Adams one and the Abby Jimenez one. And I haven't picked up any Abby Jimenez in a while. Well, I don't think I've ever actually picked up Abby Jimenez. But this one, because it's like a summer book, I'm like intrigued. Like, I really want to read it right now. Or do I read, I don't know. Or do I read this arc I have that doesn't come out until May? I don't know, this kind of seems cringy. I don't know if I want to read this yet. Or do I start the off-campus series? Because I have all 5 of them now. And she's actually going to be redoing the Briar U series into the same like format. Or do I say fuck it and read this one? House of Flame and Shadow. Or do I read one of the standalone fantasies? Like I have Gothicana. Or I have A Fate Inked in Blood. Or Sons of Darkness. Or Sanctuary of the Shadow. Or Powerless. When does that book come out? The second book come out? Maybe not Powerless. I'm not gonna read Powerless. Or do I go for an easy read with Swift and Saddled? I might be into a cowboy romance again. You know what? It's short. I loved the first book, even though I just dropped it, but I loved the first book. So I think we're gonna go with Swift and Saddled because I loved the first book. This one just came out, and yeah, we're gonna do that. Yep, we're gonna stick with cowboys. I feel like I need to be in the right headspace for some fantasies and I need to take my time sometimes with those, so I think those will be in May. I also have a few more books that I'm not adding onto my TBR, but I'm going to be reading for another video, so be sure to subscribe and look out for that one. But yeah, alright, here are my books that I will be reading this month, hopefully. Hopeful, okay? We're getting back into the reading, slowly, but hopeful TBR right here, okay? I think that's gonna be it for this TBR. My hair is like dried and now it's like a mane right now. Like you literally watched it just dry and become like huge, so that's fun. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below what books are on your TBR for this month, and if you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts, how you liked them. If you stayed to the end of this video, comment the book emoji. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I will be becoming more active once school is over, so please subscribe, and don't forget to like, comment, all that fun YouTube stuff. You know I'll do so well. I love you all so much. Thank you for sticking around through this like little lull I've had. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!